Brought to you by PlayStation Store. Access to the ultimate in games and entertainment.
Seems like Grand Theft Auto 5 came out about 12 years ago, but it's still releasing updates. Not that they've been particularly good at just giving free things for it. They've just taken their time getting heists out. But it's out today, kind of. Rob Handlery, Andy Bauman, thank you for joining myself and Chris.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, before we talk about this morning and the attempts to play heists, I want to hear about you guys playing heists last night.
Actually playing heists?
Because I think since no one else can play, we're like the only two that have done it in the whole world.
Right. So, I mean, so we were told it was going to be released at 2 a.m. and I'm playing and all of a sudden it's 9 o'clock and it's happening.
Yeah, an update.
And I'm freaking out. So I tried getting as many people as I can. Andy updated as well, and we started playing, and it was actually awesome.
What was the heist that you did? How many heists are there? Just give us the four. Right.
4 heists, 4 ways of playing them, and it was spectacular.
Yeah.
So the first one we did was like just like a run-the-mill, just like a scout the bank, steal a car, getaway car, which is like a decked-out armored car, and then the third part is then basically doing the heist.
And what was that like? What was the actual heist itself like?
It was awesome. So there are, obviously there are 4 people who can play the heists, but in this case it was just Andy and I. So in which case then the 2 other people who would have played, the computer fills it in.
Okay.
So
can you pick any one of your roles then in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as the heist leader, which was me, I picked Andy as the driver, and then I was the driller. So I drilled the lockbox in the bank.
Cool.
And it was really cool. And
what were the other 2 roles?
So they would have been, actually I don't really know, but one of them would have been like steal the helicopter with so-and-so, someone else. I assume he was a driver, and then somehow, I don't know.
One's like a getaway driver,
You don't
one's
know.
like another
I mean,
one. Yeah.
I can imagine maybe he was like
A shooter guy.
Yeah.
One is a shooter guy.
Exactly.
So presumably everyone's doing something all the time, because otherwise you'd just be waiting around, right?
Right.
So when you were what was going on with the 2 of you? Who was doing what?
So I was the drill guy, but Andy drove us there, and as we were driving there, I was hacking into like the security terminal at the bank.
Okay.
Well, I had to wait because you messed up.
It was
we were idling outside in front of the bank for like 10 minutes.
He's doing burnouts and
burning
I'm just like swearing in the mic.
He's like, hold on, I got
Put
this.
your
I got it.
balaclavas on?
Yeah, well, we had just like police tape wrapped around our heads.
That was really,
our heist crew, we went yellow and black, like Wiz Khalifa style.
So you could
tied our heads with yellow and black tape.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
they're
then,
like,
so we're driving this car, and he's like, hold on, I need to hack this. And I'm like, since I'm such a good driver, we got there and like,
just idling outside the
in front
bank.
of it, we had to wait.
What was that like? What was the hacking? Was it like a mini game or what
yeah,
was
so
it?
and Andy said he was like doing first person looking at me, I'm just on my phone like the whole time. What it is basically my
Look over him, he's like,
damn it. And what it is basically a game of Snake, where it's like a circuit board and I have to basically guide this cursor from point A to B 3 times.
Snake.
And it was really hard by the end of it. It's just difficult. All right, It was hard.
all right, sorry.
What happens then? Like you run into the bank? You both
Both
run
go
in?
in.
Yeah, this is good too.
I was instructed to yell into the microphone at the, clerks and the 2. Well, there was 3.
You were like physically
spoil
in
too
the
much.
real world yelling.
Yeah, because it did that thing where it like knows you're talking to a mic and then it like gives you a meter that's like, your threat meter. And I was like, I'm being threatening right now. Stay on the ground, mother. Beep, beep, beep.
So then, and meanwhile, I got like a bag, and I'm in the back, and I got this drill. So it's like hard trigger to start the drill, and then I got to ease it in really slowly, or else I overheat the drill.
Okay.
But it took a while to get. So I'm there just like swearing, like it's like overheating, and these amateur.
Oh yeah, I had to shoot some cameras too. And so I was just like shooting cameras.
I hear gunshots.
Shooting
and
cameras and yelling.
Yeah, when I hear gunshots, I'm like, Andy, are you killing people?
I was just scaring them because part of it is to keep the meter up. You can just shoot next to them.
Okay, yeah.
I was making them dance.
Yeah. And so that was great.
You just think he's icing everyone.
I kind of wondered what would happen if I did just start.
Right?
Well, there's only 3 of them,
Yeah.
so it's like I would have run out of hostages pretty soon. I didn't want to do that.
He's a loose cannon of the group. So then after that, we had this really sweet armored car that we had stolen prior to the actual heist. So that's waiting for us to go. We bust out. Cops are there.
The alarms go off.
Alarms go off. We get in. He's driving. We book it. And there's like kind of like a memorable bridge in GTA, which is like near the military base.
Yeah.
So we're cruising there, and sure enough, the helicopter, which would be the 2 other people that you could have,
Right.
comes out with a magnetic like clamped, and Andy eases us close enough, and basically it attaches us, and we get picked up over like the police staircase.
Oh, that's great.
Fly away. And then in the end, after of course like a 18-hour loading screen, it's like us two at a bar, our characters, and we're like clicking drinks. Like,
You still have tape all around your face?
no, I wish.
And the beard
Your face is just raw and red and bloody from all the tape.
All right, so that sounds absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So
it was
what
a
the
blast.
fuck happened
So,
today?
and that was like the preliminary one. This one is like the learn how to do heists one.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So what happened today was unfortunate because we actually got into one where we were having to, the only one that actually successfully worked was going after a bus, a prison bus that we were going to steal so we could do a breakout. And all four of us got in a car with Mary, and we started this assault on this bus, and that was even more intense and like
Really
free
intense.
forming and stuff than the
Yeah.
stuff that we got to do, which was absolutely like exhilarating because we were all like, all right, here. I was like, who's got a rocket launcher? Rob's like, oh, I got a homing thing.
Yeah.
I'll check out the helicopter flying above. And Danny's like, all right, I'll get on the bus. And
Here
I'm
we
like,
are.
all right, I'll provide cover. And of course, I
That's
didn't
me.
provide
I shot out the window.
That's us.
Sorry.
well enough cover.
I was aiming down sights.
It was really,
It was super intense.
super intense because we.
And this is
Wild
like,
card.
and this was just the first part
Yeah.
of the first setup. Of
Yes.
3 things we had to do, and then we could do
And,
the final one.
and that was interesting because the one we did last night was very basic, and we didn't get to choose how we tackled the heist prior to the heist happening. So in this case, you see 3 different ways of like you choose which one you want to do first.
Yeah.
One of them involved stealing a plane. One involved stealing the prison bus. Another one was I think is going to be breaking into a police station disguised as cops.
And I felt so tense because I was like, oh, this is the moment. Like we all have to do this properly, and that's like that. I guess the real high of this stuff when it works is that when it works, it's absolutely amazing. But then basically, 2 of us ended up getting killed,
here it is.
which meant this is actually it, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is yours.
Here's me. Yeah. And so I take out this chopper.
And I think I got into the van, and then somebody headshotted me in it.
Dead.
How did you die? Did you
Somebody just popped
The
me off
cops
there.
were right there. So unfortunately, we
We
alarmed the
didn't put
cops.
enough cover fire, I guess.
Well, we
Right.
only had 1 life, so that meant that it was failed, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Except GTA's, I guess, online is so busted that it just dropped us completely out of it when we wanted to retry.
Yeah.
But that happened non-stop for about 2 hours. We just couldn't get into games.
couldn't do anything.
We couldn't. Games would crash. People were dropping off the servers. Like it just seems like Rockstar servers are totally shagged at the moment.
We went into some kind of weird limbo at one point where like I was stuck in my garage and someone was shooting me. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't even exit out of the game. It was frozen. Yeah.
So
Now you guys are all. Your 14 was the lowest level that we had there. What is there a level requirement for heists?
Yes, over 12.
You only have to be 12 to start the heist, to like be the leader. I think you can join at level 1.
Oh, is that right?
So so
Yeah.
the leader needs the leader needs stuff like a house and stuff.
high-end flat.
Okay.
Basically area to like conduct the heist. And I guess level 12 was probably it.
Because all the planning happens in the actual apartment.
And then I forgot about this was enough money to start the heist. So the
yeah.
heist leader
You had to put
throws
up
down
like 40K for
Yeah,
this
it was
one.
like 40K.
Wow.
Which was a fair amount of money.
And then you get to divvy up the cash as well
right,
afterwards.
which is very interesting.
Can
'cause,
you like take the money and run too?
I don't know.
yeah, I think so. Like
Our option, like you were
was so
nice
good.
enough to do
50-50. But it started off as me taking 60.
Yeah.
Because I fronted the money, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's the idea when you're playing with randoms.
And our poll was like 150 something grand, or maybe it was less than that. It was like 150.
It was like 125, and then we split
Yeah.
that 50-50. And here's
Yeah.
us getting lit because we were so pissed.
You gotta before any good heist, you gotta
So
make
we're
sure you
not-
have some Merlot.
I actually don't know.
Oh,
what
there's a good part of the game.
Yeah, that's pretty evocative of how Rockstar servers are right now. That was Mary checking out the traffic.
Oh, there it goes.
So it's a damn shame.
So I mean, we're gonna jump right back in, I think.
Yeah.
And just try and get this going. It
yeah.
has so much
Because
potential.
it sounds super freaking cool.
Super freaking cool. Like, and there's also tons of other stuff they threw in. Like, I was just recording all this gameplay of like probably the biggest update yet for like clothes.
Yeah.
There's just tons of like gloves and all these fits.
Is the daily challenges, are they new?
Yeah, so those are called daily objectives. Frustratingly, Jesus, can't speak. There's 3 ones you get every day.
Yeah.
One of them I did already, which was like, go to the movies. Something you would never do.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
did that, fine, great. And the other 2 were like, join a deathmatch Can't really do that because servers are down.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you can only do so many objectives.
But at least you can still,
Do this.
bleh,
Malarkey.
bleh.
Hang out,
that's me
getting
and
drunk,
Mary
and
again.
making lewd gestures at each other,
Oh,
just like any other Tuesday.
And one of the coolest things Rob was telling me about what's kind of, I guess, the end game of all this is that there are like specific objectives for doing this, like all 4 in a row, and for
Right.
doing them in first person.
Right.
And you were saying that, like, for instance, the van that you guys had.
So we got this
Oh,
badass.
yeah.
I don't know what the equivalent car is, but it's like a Mitsubishi
It's a
Evo.
yeah.
That's like supercharged, like highest end, but it has like plate armor all around it. This is the
So
car you
cool.
steal
Damn.
in the setup mission. And then I get in, I'm like, why can't I see? And then I go to third person mode, I scroll or like pan to the front, and there's like a strip this big that you can see out of like, here, put it on camera, it's like barely any for your view.
like an inch high or something.
Oh,
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
And
So doing that in first person.
And not only that, like I had been shot a little bit like through it, so the windshield was just like gooey mess, like
Blood?
Because your own
and, like,
blood was on
yeah,
it.
like it was shattered, and I'm like trying to look through. I'm like, I got this in first person, guys.
But don't you get
No
more money if you do
problem.
it in
And then
first
I had
person
to
as
go
well?
out.
Yeah, so like
So cool.
the ultimate thing you could do, and I'm so curious to see like who does this first, is basically you gotta play with the same 4 people on hard, in first person, all in a row, and in the end you get $10 million.
Oh my god.
Oh, also, no one can die. So
Oh, wow.
in
Oh,
each
jeez.
heist, you get 1 death for the whole team. So
Wow.
once
Even in the setups.
I would imagine.
Well, there was for us at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because we had a
crazy.
death in our
I
car,
died,
in
right.
a car robbery.
I died, and then you died, and that's what ended it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. After 2 lives.
Whereas we
Right.
just partied in your flat during ours when it wouldn't work.
Waiting for Andy.
So that's GTA 5 Online Heists. There'll be some features up later in the week for that on GameSpot.
If we can
as-
get any
as-
done. I
Yeah, as long as it gets fixed. But as Chris all but knows from Halo the Master Chief Collection,
jeez.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Just doesn't get fixed for a long,
Yeah.
long time.
Thanks very much for coming on, guys. Really appreciate it.